Today I take you through vaccination program, or how to raise your birds with no deaths, zero mortalities, from day one up to market. So when you bring your chicken right from the hatchery, the first thing you need to do, ensure that your chicken are vaccinated against Marek disease. Well, you can vaccinate against Marek or you cannot. But the problem is, Marek disease, if it comes to your flock, it doesn't have a cure. So day one, the chicken should be vaccinated against Marek from the hatchery. When the chicken arrive on your farm, if you look at the chicks, they are always sitting and standing. Sitting and standing in the carton. There's a lot of buildup of lactic acid in their muscles. So this lactic acid is what brings about fatigue. So when you want to control that fatigue in the chicken, you give them a multivitamin and you also give them a glucose. So you'll give them a multivitamin like Chick Start, which is very rich in vitamins, and specifically vitamin K as well. Vitamin K is very important for a day-old chick because it helps cure the placenta. The placenta is still dry. So then you also add glucose to that concoction. The chicken will take vitamin K, will take Chick Start together with glucose and liquid paraffin. Liquid paraffin helps in the digestive system. It helps the chicken poop laxatively without having the stool drying at the anus, because when the stool dries at the anus of the chicks, it blocks and the chicks die. In my previous video, when I talked about the vaccination program, very careful to you, my viewer, I talked about using Alamycin chick formula. Do not use any component or any medication that has got tetracycline in it. When you use a drug with tetracycline in it, because the chicken has been vaccinated on Marek, and even nowadays we buy some chicks that are pre-vaccinated with Newcastle disease, the antibodies are already compromised. So when you introduce an antibiotic immediately, it tends to compromise even the bird system further, and it weakens the birds further. So day one, the chicks will be vaccinated against Marek, then you'll give them Chick Start plus glucose plus liquid paraffin for 3 days. Day 4, you'll vaccinate them against Newcastle plus IB. So that is Newcastle disease plus infectious bronchitis. Infectious bronchitis is a disease of the respiratory system. So if you can be able to prevent it, it's better. Do not buy Newcastle plain. When you go to the agrovet to buy the first Newcastle dose for your chicken, ensure it is Newcastle plus IB, infectious bronchitis. Now, after every vaccination, never give an antibiotic, but give a vitamin for 3 days. So now you'll give the chicken Chick Start, again plus glucose, continue with liquid paraffin for another 3 days. So now your chicken will be at day 7. So at day 7, the chicken now will take water plus glucose until they get to day 10. So at day 10, you will give them intermediate gumboro, not gumboro plus. In a layman's language, you call it fast gumboro. That is day 10. After giving the gumboro, you then give them liquid paraffin again and continue by giving them glucose. At this time, you can withdraw Chick Start. All right? So this will go on for a period of 14 days. Not 14 days. It will go on for a period of 10 days. So from day 10 up to day 20, you then give Newcastle plain. So this one, you can either repeat, if you don't get Newcastle plain, you can even give again Newcastle plus IB. There's no problem. It's only that when giving the first Newcastle, you should give Newcastle plus IB. But when giving the second Newcastle, you can choose to give it plain, or you can give it Newcastle plus IB. It has got no difference. All right. So now you are at day 20. You've given the birds Newcastle, plain or plus IB, and then you're giving them again a glucose or a vitamin for 3 days. Now, when you get to day 27, you give them a vaccine for Chorizo. Chorizo is a disease whereby the eye swells and it produces pus. And this one can affect chicken at any stage, whether they are chicks or they are mature chicken. Remember, in our previous videos, we've not mentioned the vaccine of Chorizo. We had not come across it. But as we speak now, we have the vaccine. So you'll administer the vaccine to your chicken. All right? As you keep going, you will go up to day 42. At day 42, you then give the chicken a vaccine for fowlpox. Fowlpox is a disease whereby the chicken will develop funny swelling like pimples in the eyelids. If not in the eyelids, the chicken will develop something like a pink rash. When you open their wings and check below the wing, you'll find something like chicken pox. So not chicken pox, but spotted pinks, cheetah-like, pink marks. That is fowlpox in the initial stage. So how do you administer fowlpox? You simply open the wing and you stab it through. You can do it, or you can call a vet to do for you the fowlpox jab. Many people tend to ignore the fowlpox and look at it as an inferior disease to the chicken. There is no disease that is inferior to the chicken. For example, when a turkey is infected with fowlpox, it is really shaken. It is really shaken. It can even go down. It can die because of fowlpox. You know, when fowlpox gets into the internal organs, especially the throat, and attacks the lower side of the tongue, there is no feeding. The chicken can't feed. It can't peck. There is no swallowing because the throat is swollen and also it has got wounds. So what do you expect when a chicken is not feeding? Your chicken will not gain weight as expected. And that means you will not achieve your market as you targeted. You'll find that in that course, you're having some mortalities. Your chicken are dying. So when a bird dies, one chicken, when it dies, you're losing money. So very important, do not look at fowlpox as an inferior disease. Lastly, or not lastly, you can then give the fall typhoid. It's mostly an injection. You can give it as a thigh injection. Although people say fall typhoid is an extinct disease. No, it's not. It is present. Kindly vaccinate your chicken against fall typhoid. That is at around, let's say, that is at around 2 months. That is around 8 weeks. That's around, let's say, 52 days. After doing that, then very, very important, you will give the last vaccine, which is again Newcastle, but then it's a jab. It's either thigh or breast. Do not give the Lasota injection for Newcastle to chicken below 4 months. Never do that. If you give the chicken that injection below 4 months, you not like the mortality. They die like crazy. You come in the morning, 30% dead. You come the following day, 50% dead. So it's very, very important. Do not do that. Generally, what I've said about vaccination and what you need to factor in is the timing of vaccination. Do vaccination very early in the morning when it's cold, or do vaccination very late in the evening when it's also cool. Yeah, don't do it during the day when it's very hot. Remember, in summary, always give a vitamin after vaccinating your chicken, just to boost their immunity and give them strength. All right. And very, very important, apart from vaccination, observe biosecurity. And you will not have this challenge of diseases. Lastly, and very important, how do you preserve a vaccine? You're going to the agrovet, like here. It's a village, it's a rural setup. It's a bit far from the town. So how will you get your vaccine from Wote town to here? You might go and buy the vaccine at town, but by the time you bring the vaccine to your farm, it's already a disease. A vaccine is either attenuated or live virulent. A vaccine is either made, it's suppressed. It's active but suppressed under the chilled conditions. So it's not very active. It only becomes active while in the bud. Very important. While carrying the vaccine, like you see now you're having 400 chicken. A cooler box is only like 200 shillings, $2. Buy a cooler box for carrying your vaccines. Ukienda kule kunua vaccine, wakuweke kwa hiyo cooler box. They put in the cooler box and they also put the ice in it. So the vaccine gets here when it's chelated. All right? Yes. When you're giving oral vaccines, remember to mix the vaccine, open the vaccine inside the water. Don't open outside the water. After finishing, remember to throw away or even burn those vaccine containers and equipment that you have used. And always try to keep safe. Thank you so much for hosting us. I hope you've learned something.
Yes.
To our esteemed viewers, we go full-scale agribusiness. We introduce you to our other new channel, AgriFarm. Click on the link below, it will take you to the other channel. In this channel, we shall be uploading also daily by meeting other farmers in the dairy sector, in the pig sector, sheep and goat sector, and other crop farmers and everything. Anything you want to learn agribusiness, how to invest a coin in agriculture and get it back, we shall serve you. We shall bring you success stories. We shall bring you experts on board who will guide you where you can put your shilling and how you can keep improving your skill. What else are you waiting to do? Subscribe to the channel.